Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Norgoz, and I'm going to be taking you through the release schedule for July based on the JP version of the game. And we've already got a wrench thrown in the works because we got Rain almost a whole month early because of the FFBE anniversary crossover event that they decided to do as a collaboration. So we're going to be talking about the new units that are expected to come out, the vision cards, the espers, and just a little bit, just a brief overview of kind of what to expect with them and what their roles are, and whether or not you may want to consider pulling for them or saving some vision or now for them, because there is a limited unit toward the end of July, beginning of August that was expected, called Warrior of Light, and we've all heard about him, haven't we? So let's get started with that, guys. Without further ado, welcome back to Heshkos, the Warlord of the Visions welcomes you to his humble abode. My name's Norgoz. I'm going to be taking you through this today. If you like the way that we deliver content, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and come back and see us again. We really appreciate you guys being part of our community. And if you like, Notification Squad, where you guys at? I know you're out there. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love. If you're feeling really froggy, you could be part of the squad too. Hit that bell icon. You get notified of new content as soon as it releases. Feel free to give us comments in the comment section. Find us on Twitch Tuesday through Friday. We do appreciate you guys very much. Here we go today. On the right side, behind me is the global side of this. On the left side of this resource sheet is the JP side of this, and the dates and the times, the date, number of days, and the dates correspond with that. So this is a resource sheet that is managed by Haddison. You may have seen some info hubs like this circling around the community. I'm using this one today as I primarily use it as my resource for the release schedule to compare global to JP. Now, these dates, you're going to notice, they don't match up exactly, and I'll put this link in the description if I haven't already said so. These links, or rather, these dates are not going to align exactly with what our days are that we get releases on. We get updates on every Wednesday. The first red number up there is 108 days. On 108 days in JP, we got Vinera, we got Dario, and we got Tyrell. On this side, we have nothing because that's not happened yet. But 108 days into the game is on Saturday. That's the 11th. That's this coming Saturday. We're not going to get an update on that day. We're going to get an update on Wednesdays. That's the day we get it. So these days may not align because of that, but also because we have 3 weeks here that things happen differently in global than they did in JP. We got Chrono and Whisper about a week earlier than expected, and then we also got the Mobius card about a month early, and then Rain about a month early almost. So that's what's going on with that. Also, we got Fravia as a global exclusive unit. She is exclusive global. If you didn't know that, now you do. She is a time-limited unit. Rain, however, is a standard unit. He is a standard unit. He is not a time-limited unit. You can get his unit shards in the hard quest section of the world quest. So he is a standard unit. Don't worry about that. But Fravia is limited. So moving forward here, we're going to talk a little bit about the units. I'm going to give a brief overview of these units. I'm not going to go too far into depth with these units because it would just take a long time, and I don't want to have you guys sitting through like an hour's analysis of all of these characters. We'll talk about that more in depth at a future date. So, Vinera is first up. She's one of the most mobile units in the game, one of the stronger attackers in the game, has a ton of evasion on top of that, and that's one of the things that makes her such a good unit. She's going to be one of the first assassin units that we have. She's going to have Thief sub-job, Dual Gunner sub-job. She's going to have her TMR is going to be able to increase male killer, think human killer, but specifically male, and then decrease chance of being targeted by a decreased chance of being targeted. It's going to lower your hate. She's going to get some attack up on her ability board. She's going to get a respectable amount of HP and attack as well by her base standards. Resistance, she's going to be resistant to slashing, neutral on piercing, a little bit of negative resistance on striking, very resistant to missile, and then somewhat weakened to magic. But of course, we all know you can lower your faith, and you can kind of compensate for that a little bit. With her skills, there's 3 primary support skills that I'm going to point out. She's able to increase her evasion passively, her move and agility passively, and her defense penetration along with agility passively. Now, that's from her assassin, thief, and dual gunner jobs, respectively. Of course, you can only pick 2 at a time, but those are the 3 that I'm primarily highlighting because I think that's what some of the ones you're going to get the most use out of. She's going to be able to deal a ton. She's going to be able to deal a ton of damage. She's going to be able to do some AOE damage. She's going to be able to decrease defense. So she's going to be able to debilitate your enemies along the way. And of course, she's dual gunner. she's going to be able to help with the missile chains if you'd like her to do so. She is a dark element, so she's not going to be able to directly chain with Lucia element for element, but she's going to be able to do some decent damage as potentially to potentially continue with chains because she does get dual trigger. Now, her limit burst is going to have a very high chance to inflict poison, which is going to be pretty decent. Now, moving forward, we're going to move. I know it's a little bit of a heavy transition there. So Vinera is actually going to be a pretty good attacking unit. She's expected to come very soon. Dario's the next one that we're going to be talking about today. He's supposed to be he's supposed to be sort of I believe he's supposed to be sort of a jack of all trades because he gets defense and spirit as his mastery ability. He gets Spellblade and Paladin, so he can kind of tank both. And he gets Ninja, so he's going to have some decent speed to go along with that. He actually does get a passive ability that increases his move and jump by 1, so he's going to be somewhat mobile as well. So he's going to be somewhat, he's going to be similar to Mont in that regard, but he's also going to be able to be a bit, be an MR version of a magic tank for you because he does get some magic resistance, and he does get some. He gets the Spellblade, taunting spell, and whatnot. So he's got a lot of good things going for him as an MR unit. He's got a plus to slashing, negative piercing, negative striking, plus to missile, and a slight plus to magic resistance. However, if you compare that with any of the other units that are like Engelbert or Mont, you're sitting negative 30, negative 20, negative 30, magic. That's quite a distinctive difference in that category. He's going to have about 2,500 HP, but without any further additional buffs beyond his ability board. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice to go with. He's going to be able to get some magic resistance, some agility and HP and defense, and then, of course, the move and jump up in his support category. You guys all know what Spellblades are. We've talked about them before. He's going to be Wind Element. He's going to be good against Earth, so he's going to get some Earth Killer Blades. He's going to be able to increase magic resistance with a cross AoE. He's going to be able to he's going to use Taunting Spell to increase Hate. Now, if you wanted to use your Paladin sub-job, you can try and focus more towards the physical defense side of it because he does get Sentinel, and on top of that, he does get a shield for up to 50% damage for 3 turns, or for not 3 turns, 3 times. It's a shield, it's 3 hits. So if somebody should use quadruple shot, that shield's gone, and the 4th hit's at full damage. Ninja, if you're going to be using him as a damage dealer, which he's not primarily built for that per se, but he may be able to deal some respectable damage. You're going to be able to get under the ninja category. You're going to be able to get some ranged abilities. You're going to be able to get the poison move ability. You're also going to be able to get I believe this is Shuriken here, and you've got the I can't think of what it's called. Is it Decider of Fate? I think it's Decider of Fate. It basically guarantees a hit. It's a critical hit. It's a very, very strong ability to have. Fantastic ability. Or increases your accuracy and gives you a guaranteed hit, rather. Next up, we have Tyrell. They're going to be a Knight MR unit, and they may throw this unit at us. We will see how they handle global. Then we have Knight, we have Viking, and we have Lancer as their jobs. And what they're going to be able to do, they're going to have a respectable amount of HP. They do get an HP bonus on their mastery ability, so a slashing attack up. They are a water unit. And you saw this unit in the first few levels of the tower. You did see this in the first few levels of the tower if you have already gone through that. On the stats, they're going to get even more attack up. They have a respectable amount of resistance. They're only negative on magic and striking. They have a positive to piercing and neutral damage resistance to slashing and missile. Now, what makes this unit really good as an MR unit, as a potential damage dealer, is, one, the Knights, they can debilitate your opponent. They can decrease agility. They can decrease attack, magic, so on and so forth. They can decrease a whole bunch of stats and deal damage at the same time. And a lot of those abilities are cleave attacks, so you're going to hit one square in front of you and one on each side in front of you. So that's pretty nice if you want to hit multiple units. His support abilities does get Viking lore, which is one of the bigger, one of the better supports in my opinion. You're going to get up to 12% HP up and 24% attack up. So that's just going to compound on the already high attack percentage up that they're going to be getting. And we're going to see one of the few units that has this increase critical rate by up to 25 from their Dragoon stuff. Or did I say Dragoon before? This is Lancer. I'm sorry. From their Lancer category. So yeah, Lancer. I probably called it Dragoon. Excuse me, I'm sorry. They both use a pole arm. Forgive me. So what are they going to get? So on their main job, they're always going to have Trinity Break, which is a triple break. You have attack, magic, and agility down all in one hit. It is a ranged attack, so it's going to give you a little bit of range. They're going to be able to set back if you need them to kind of get kind of weave in and out of the front lines. They're going to get some cleaves. That's going to be on their sub job. They're going to get be able to get magic and speed break. They do get, I think it's called Arm Break in Global, and it's the highest one. It's the highest damaging ability they get, up to 191% damage modifier, which is nothing to sneeze at. That's actually pretty respectable for a disable. So our chance to disable. They do get Viking Sub. With the Viking Sub, they're going to be able to get Drained Cyclone, which is going to be able to be an AoE that heals you for the damage that's dealt, and it's in the small damage category, but it's a respectable amount. They're going to be able to get the ranged attack of, we've got Launch, and then you also have Knee Breaker. Knee Breaker has a chance to inflict Immobilize, and it goes through, they labeled it as piercing. Now what that means is, what they mean by that is that if you have 3 units in front of you, it will pierce through and hit all 3 of them. So all these attacks are going to be based on, all these attacks except for Lancer attacks are going to be slashing, based attacks. His Knight and Viking are going to be all slashing water attacks, and then on Lancer, you're going to have some piercing water attacks. But in Lancer, you're also going to be able to get attack and critical up as a self buff, and you're going to be able to get some, you're going to be able to do some ranged attacks and abilities on the Lancer side as well. So it's going to be a respectable MR unit to potentially look at. So this is going to turn out to be a much longer the video than I originally anticipated, apparently. So we're going to breeze through this as fast as I can, but while giving you guys this valuable information. We have the Twin-Headed Dragon card. Now this card is going to increase, it's got a very high amount of attack, some of the highest attack in the game for vision cards, and it's going to be able to increase maximum damage by a total of 2,500. Now what does that mean? That means when you do chains right now, if you did the Chocolate Flan raid, or you've done another, any type of brutal quest where you've been chaining with other people, you'll notice that the damage cap's at 9,999. This raises your damage cap for your party. So that means when you're going into, whenever you're going into somewhere and you're chaining with yourself, you're chaining with your party, you can get up to 2,500 damage higher than that damage cap, which is invaluable. It's invaluable. It's very, very, very good, especially for, raids and whatnot, where that really, really matters. You do get the Esper with that, is the Two-Headed Dragon card, and this is a really, really good Esper to have. It has some of the highest attack that we've seen in the game, 108 attack. Up to this point, we've only seen roughly about somewhere around in the 90s, I believe it is. So it's a very high base attack when you max this card out. It says only sitting around 10 agility, but you get a respectable amount of attack, respectable amount of HP. And in the skill tree, you're going to be able to get a lot of different things that are going to be valuable for attacker units. Now, you can get critical damage up, attack up by 20%. You can get Dark Killer. I believe this is 25%. Yeah, 20. This is basically Odin, but for Dark Killer. Odin's Maneater section, but for Dark Killer. So you've got that going for you. You've also got slashing attack up at the bottom section. If you needed to, you got piercing resistance. You've got Dragon Killer, increased accuracy by, I believe this was 20%. And then you have, or rather 15%. 15% accuracy up, I'm sorry. You can also get, that covers pretty much everything. You got the basic evasion rate and all that good stuff. So there's a lot of different things that this can cover. You're not going to be able to fill out everything, of course, but you're going to be able to get a ton of attack from this Esper with that 20% attack up and the amount of attack that you have from the Esper itself. You're going to have it's a very, very viable card to use for your attack-based units, especially for slashing attackers, or if somebody who's going up against like a dark unit, like a Vinera, as an example. So this card, this card is, I forget the name of this card. I apologize. Path to Glory, I think it is. And this is, if you can't get the UR card of the Two-Headed Dragon, this is going to be your alternative. It increases maximum damage as a self buff, so it increases your maximum damage, your maximum chaining damage, up to a total of 15. So it's not party, not a party effect. This actually has it actually has the party effect of Light Killer up to 20, or Light Killer up to 20%, which is going to be nice on, I think it's floor 19 of the tower. That would be pretty sweet to have this in there, but of course, this is probably going to come after the tower's over with. That said, the card's going to give you a respectable amount of attack. It's going to give you... It's not going to give you as much magic. It's going to be a respectable amount of attack on it, so that's pretty much what that card is there for. You've got the False Promise True Soul card. Had to think. It's going to have it's going to be a sort of a hybrid card. You're going to have a decent amount of attack and magic, respectable amount. You're going to be able to get up to 15 slashing attack up for yourself buff, and you're going to be able to get evasion rate up to 10%. All of this once fully maxed out and fully awakened. So that's pretty nice. Again, another evasion card is always good. This is gonna synergize really well with Shiva and make the evasion meta that much better. So this is one you may want to heavily consider, also because it has a very high amount of HP, sitting around 264 maxed out. And this is going to be the Jealous Magician card, whereas we can see Adelard and his sister Selir. Selir is a monster of an MR. I am telling you guys, if you haven't already picked up Selir, she's a monster mage in the MR category. I'm telling you, she's fantastic. So what this card's going to do for you, going to give you a very respectable amount of magic at 126. Going to be able to decrease your casting time by 100. And it's going to increase your magic for your party by up to 30%. Now, how about that? That's pretty good for an MR card. Up to 30%, and it's going to basically increase your casting speed. You are going to take a hit to defense in the process, but this is going to be pretty good for your, maybe pretty good for your mages. The next card, this is going to be a part of the Final Fantasy 1 collaboration event. This is going to be a limited card, and this card is going to get you piercing resistance up. So, if you're a Whisper fan, like I am, or you're somebody who builds your tanks around specific resistances, pay attention to this card. Pay very close attention to this card. You also do get... Now, with this, we're mainly going to just talk about the card here. You do also get the ability, the party effect of area resistance, so it should be helping when you're taking AoE damage. It should be helping to, as I understand it, should be helping to reduce that damage. So if it's an AoE, now that may... I'm not going to speculate on that. So, but that, yeah, the area of effect damage should be able to help you with taking less AoE damage. It does have a high amount of attack on it, an insanely high amount of HP, 400 HP. That's some of the highest that we've seen on a Vision card up to this point. 400 is crazy high. And of course, the final guy, Warrior of Light. Warrior of Light. What is he good for? Absolutely everything. He's good for everything. He's going to have the sub job. He's going to come bring in a unique job, which I believe is called, I think it's just called Warrior of Light. And then you have Spellblade and then Dragoon for his sub jobs. So he's going to be able to do everything. He's going to be able to do it all. He's going to be able to tank physical. He's going to be able to tank magical. And he's going to have, you know, some Dragoon abilities to help along the way. His TMR is phenomenal. His TMR is going to be able to restore HP 30% for 3 turns. And he's going to be able to auto-restore TP over by 10% over 3 turns as well. His mastery ability is going to increase his attack by 20% and his defense by 5. And it's going to give you a bunch of accuracy and evasion and HP by default. I apologize. I'm starting to lose my voice here a little bit, so bear with me just a second. All right, so he's going to have a very high amount of HP. He's going to be sitting pretty right around 3,000. And he's going to be having a ton. He's got a ton of HP bonuses. So he's going to be sitting probably around 3,500, more or less, than just with all his passives. He's fantastic for slashing, tanking. 25% resistance to slashing. Weak to piercing by 20%. 5% to striking. 15% to missile resistance. 5% to magic. So, with all that in mind, why is he good at everything? Well, he gets both defense and spirit on his board. You have defense and HP as a passive ability. He gets magic resistance as a passive ability. He gets jump 1, so he can move around the arena a little bit more. And then he gets a HP passive, another HP passive if you need to stack HP. So basically, you're kind of picking one or the other, right? You're probably going to be focusing on physical tanking or magic tanking, depending on the situation. You'll pick like the defense and HP. take the HP on the other side, take the magic resistance, the dark resistance on one, and then take the HP on the other side. Whichever one you want to go with, that's kind of what you're going to want to do, of course, because of course, we're limited to 2, right? Warrior of Light, we're not going to go too much into this, but like I said, like, one of the things that makes him great is that he's going to be able to increase his defense and spirit. Kind of like Rain's buff, where he can self-buff himself and increase hate. He's going to be able to do the same thing. Increase his defense and spirit for 3 turns, and increase his hate by 8 to 12. It reduces, and he also gets a self-shield for, or rather, he gets a shield that he can cast for up to 35% damage. Reduces damage taken for 3 times. It's a shield. He's going to be able to, on his sub job of his Warrior of Light job, he's going to have an attack and magic break. So if you didn't get Rain, you didn't get his Undermine, or if you don't have a knight that has a Trinity break, you can use this. It's not going to lower the agility the same way as it would with the Trinity break, and it's not going to lower the defense and the spirit as it would with the Undermine for Rain. But it's going to be, it's respectable. It's going to help you with taking less damage. If you sub Spellblade, you're going to be able to take a shield that's going to be reducing damage by 50% for 3 times as well. There's a lot of things that this guy gets. If you want to try and use him for an attacker, you can try, I guess, under the Dragoon subjob. He's going to get a pretty good amount of a boost to an attack, and his attack is not crazy low. So you may be able to do a respectable amount of damage, a decent amount of damage with him. His limit burst has a 100% chance to cast Shell and Protect on himself, and it's only 38 AP, and it's a 3-hit attack. That's great. It's great for chaining, great for being able to be tanky, and it reduces physical and magic damage by 25% once those are cast on himself at maxed level, when that's maxed out. So, that does it for us. This video turned out to be a lot longer than I expected it to be. I'm going to upload it as is and kind of let it ride. So, guys, let me know in the comment section, what are some of those heroes, what are some of those units, espers, cards, that you're considering pulling for? Are you saving Vision Aura for? Did you not pull for Rain because you were going to pull for Warrior of Light? That's what I was originally going to do, and plans changed, so I didn't do that. I was originally going to pull for Warrior of Light and hope to get Rain in during that time, because the more Vision Aura you save for that limited time event, the more chances you have of getting Warrior of Light or that the Robo card. And I don't think I even looked up the name for that. I apologize, but basically, that's kind of everything in a nutshell is what we're expecting. Now, when we might see this, it remains to be seen. We're expecting to get Vinera, Dario, Tyrell first, then the cards and the Esper. Then we were expecting to get Rain. And the following week, in the first or second week of August, we were expecting to get Warrior of Light. Because of the advancement in schedule of Rain being released and Mobius card being released, now we have a gap where we're ahead. So we may see Warrior of Light as early as next week, or they may put Vinera and the crew in next week. Maybe they'll put the cards in. Maybe they'll put everything in all at once. I don't think they're going to put all those units all in at once, but it's all up in the air. What are you guys' thoughts on that? And of course, come back and see us again. If you like the way that we deliver War of the Visions content, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, come back and see us again. If you're feeling really froggy, hit that bell icon, get notified, and do content as soon as it releases. And of course, we're available on Twitch Tuesday, Friday. And we are available on Patreon if you'd like to support us in another way. We have exclusive content in all of these formats directly for your guys' entertainment. And of course, my name is Norgoz. I will see you in the next one.